We're just kind of squatting.
Squatters do not pay rent.
We feel like we're entitled to having time on the weekend or to a vacation.
I have a little tool fetish.
We don't know how to save.
You don't know how to wait. How big a dope do you feel now?
I feel like burying my head somewhere.
Like, I don't know if I can do this.
Guys, how can you live like this?
Money, 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 money.
I'm Dion. I'm a teacher. I make about $45,000.
My name's Shannon. I work in the construction industry.
Our debt is about $25,000, I think. The things we like to do cost money. I kind of like to shop, clothes and shoes.
I have a little tool fetish because there's never a tool that you don't need.
We bought a new TV, no interest for a year.
For some reason, our money didn't go towards it. We're paying interest, which I don't have any interest in interest. We eat out about 2 times a week and then twice on the weekend. Going out is definitely $100 each time.
Even if we're staying in lately, by the time we go rent movies, get snacks, get takeout, we just spent $50. And I like to travel. We went to Jamaica, we went to Bahamas.
To Honduras and Belize and Guatemala.
I usually have a travel plan, cooking. Why is the sun so cheap? 11:27. Wow. Oh, we can actually go. We feel like we're entitled to having time on the weekend or to a vacation because we do work hard.
When I come back and I got a good tan, that's how I justify it.
We bought the house a few months ago as an investment with my family to flip.
And our plan was just to sell it right away. And I took 4 months straight off of work.
We didn't plan to live in the house. In the midst of the renovations, it just all got very expensive, so we decided to move in. We're living here temporarily.
Our expenses have gone up since we've got this house. I just didn't realize how many little things were gonna add up.
He'll pretty much hand over his paycheck. I'll deal with all the bills.
It's just literally, I never paid a bill.
When there's nothing left at the end of the week, he's kind of going, well, what do you mean? What happened?
I don't think it's to the point where it's like gonna make her break down or anything like that.
When an expense does come up, it makes me feel anxious. It stresses me out because I don't know where it's gonna come from.
I don't understand why we need help.
If we ran into a crisis, we would be really, really screwed.
This month, I'll help this couple move from red to black. I've been solving money problems for over 20 years, tackling everything from high finance to low income. I help people understand money and debt, which is still a huge mystery for most folks. And it's the #1 reason couples split up. So now I'm making house calls. Shannon and Dion are letting their feelings of entitlement guide their financial decisions. When they're not jet-setting on vacation, they're biting off more than they can chew, like gutting and flipping this house. Now their finances are as shaky as this hand railing. Hope no one takes a fall. Hi, Gail Vaz-Oxley.
Dion, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Dion.
Shannon.
Nice to meet you, Shannon. I can't wait to see this house. Nice kitchen,
Thank you.
but there's nothing in it.
We're just kind of squatting until the house is
Okay,
sold.
you know what? Aren't you paying like $1,200 a month?
Correct.
Squatters do not pay rent. I don't know how they exist in this house with the confusion. Everything is in a pile, and you can't find anything. Dion's family planned to flip this house. They've paid for materials, and the couple's contribution is Shannon's sweat equity. But 4 months later, the work has stalled, and no, nothing's getting done. And there's a lot left to do. Guys, how can you live like this?
I feel like we're being scolded.
Don't you find that everything's driving you crazy?
Absolutely. Crazy is the word.
Madly in love?
Absolutely.
Can't live on love, though, right?
Well, it can get us by.
This is part of your problem, okay? Is that you have this sense that it doesn't matter what happens, we will always make it.
That's right.
You actually haven't been making it, you've been putting it on credit. 5 trips in 3 years on credit cards.
We like to travel.
Yeah. It's like you do this fly now, pay later. Never considered saving for the next trip?
That means we can't do anything for years.
And you're both actually very similar in terms of your approach to how things should be managed, and therefore nobody is watching the money. You thought you had $30,000 and you have almost $60,000 worth of debt.
Why is it so much?
I don't know, Shannon. Why is it so much?
The hardest thing was to see we're $60,000 in debt when I was brushing off 30. And now to see it double in a day was kind of traumatic.
You took a consolidation loan for $23,000 and then you went out and you ran your debt right back up again. Mr. I'm not interested in interest. Between your interest and your insurance on your loans, you're paying $440 a month. Look at your interest rates. Are you really paying 29%? You want to take 9 years to pay off $2,200 worth of debt?
No.
But that's what you're doing.
I feel like hibernating and burying my head somewhere to know that I've given that much money to people that have way more money than me already.
And I want to show you what 1 month of spending looks like. This is 1 month. Almost $1,000 a month, or 20% of your income, is going to crap. Ms. I do the banking is spending $164 a month on banking.
On banking?
You're spending $357 a month eating out. Almost $200 in chips and pops and cigarettes.
I was pretty disgusted, actually. It makes us look like really gross. Like we eat, you know, terrible food and drink all the time and all this kind of stuff, which I guess we do.
You guys are overspending by $1,000 a month. And if you keep it up in 5 years, you'll owe $328,000, which will sort of make all of this pointless. Are you prepared to promise me that you will do anything I ask over the next few weeks so I can dig you out of this hole?
Absolutely.
Anything.
I'm willing to do what it takes to get us out of this debt.
Okay, so over the next few weeks, what I'm going to do is going to give you a series of challenges to do. You do the challenges to my satisfaction, I'll give you up to $5,000 to help you pay down the debt. You don't do the challenges, you don't get the money. You don't have the right attitude, you don't get the money.
Okay.
So this month, we're going to organize the money, the house money, and your money. We're going to get this debt paid off. And you're going to see that you can have what you want, no matter what it is, providing you can pay for it. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to get me your debit cards and your credit cards, scram, scoot. Coming up, Shannon and Dion consult their fellow investors.
I think you guys should just tough it out because there's no way that we're gonna give this place away.
Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money.
Shannon and Dion's Fly Now, Pay Later strategy
So we want to go to Mexico, to Europe, to Florida.
has them headed on a trip to the poorhouse. And you have almost $60,000 worth of debt.
I feel like hibernating and burying my head somewhere.
Their family's plan to flip a fixer-upper has resulted in more debt, not easy money. Guys, how can you live like this? So I've stepped in to renovate their finances.
I feel like we're being scolded.
For the next month, this couple will learn to live on a strict cash budget. No more credit cards. They'll complete weekly challenges to tackle their money and relationship issues. And if they're willing to change, I'll reward them with thousands of dollars. No changes, no money. Say bye-bye cards.
Bye-bye, Karen.
They're gone. Since you don't have cards anymore, you're going to have to learn to live on cash. And I'm going to cut your budget by 81%.
All right. All right.
You're going to go from spending $5,900 a month to spending $1,100 a month. And that's just your variable expenses.
Okay.
Okay, so this is how it's going to play out. You are going to have $100 a week for food, $90 a week for transportation,
Okay.
$25 a week for entertainment.
Does it mean we have no social life to speak of now? I don't know. Like, I don't know.
You will have $6.25 for clothing and gifts,
God. Okay.
and $55 a week for other.
Okay.
Which brings me to your first challenge. This is your future plan challenge, and there are a few parts. Let's start with you, Shannon.
All right.
You have to come up with a plan for finishing the house. Your plan has to include what has to be done, how much it's going to cost, and the timeline by when it's going to be finished. I would like you to meet with your investors and present your plan so that everybody has a sense of what's going on. Part 2, Dion, is yours.
Okay.
I can't balance your budget. You're still over by $800 a month. So you, my love, have to balance the budget yourself. You can find a way to cut back even more, or you can make more money.
Like, my mind is going like this and trying to figure out what I'm gonna do. Like, I don't know if I can do this. It's a little shocking because our net income is lower than I thought. Okay, one idea I had was public transit. If I just buy tokens, that would be $90. I would like to cut down the gas.
If I do get the guy I drive to work with to pay $20 a week,
We're still not balanced here, you know?
you could dump your cell phone.
I don't think I'm willing to do that. The main one that I guess I might have to do, even though it's gonna kill me, is get off of my 4/5 plan.
Dion's taking advantage of a benefit offered by her school board. The 4/5 plan sets aside 20% of her income for 4 years, lets her take the 5th year off living on the 80% accumulated. Problem is, Dion needs that 20% right now to make her budget balance.
It is going to kill me to give it up.
Sitting down with her parents will be interesting. There's so many little things that I have to do, and they're all just little things. So we're gonna start here in the kitchen. I'm looking at a day of grouting, but then I'm also looking at 3 or 4 hours just to put these tiles in. We have some work in the closets to do, which is just put up the rods for the jackets. The railing looks like it's gonna cost me anywhere from $500 to $800 to get this done.
Do you think it would cost that much?
I think that's realistic. I don't like the white tiles and I don't like the white grout. Time to find a different tile for the floor.
The total to finish is about $12.10.
And the time frame that all of this is going to be completed?
So 2.5 months.
Since Dion and Shannon are struggling to balance their budget, Dion's father has a simple solution. Rent out the basement apartment, which is empty right now.
You can get $600 to $800 a month for that basement.
If we're trying to sell it as soon as possible, who's gonna come in for?
I think you guys should just tough it out and maximize the amount of money we can get down there, because there's no way that we're gonna give this place away and you guys stay here for 2-3 years, whatever.
Do you feel more confident?
Absolutely. Like I feel like now I know what's got to be
Can
done.
you see how important the planning is?
Yeah, planning is a great.
Planning is a good thing.
And nobody's asking me now, when is it going to get done? I've put it down on paper, and now I sleep easy at night.
So what did you do with the budget?
So the main thing that I came up with was giving up my 4/5. So that'll bring in an extra 610 roughly.
Net?
Yes.
Cut your bank fees down?
Yes.
You can get that down to zero.
Yes, and so
You balance.
Yay.
We're out of the red.
Well, job well done.
Thank
Job
you.
very well done. And so we come to your second challenge, which is your life lesson challenge. You guys like to travel. But just as you saw that planning for your money makes sense, planning for your trips also makes sense.
Yes.
So this week what you're going to do is you're going to figure out what the various trips you want to take will cost. No more fly now, pay later.
Okay.
And as part of that, I have a little ice-capade for you. Coming up, I put Shannon and Dion's travel plans on ice.
oh my God, they're heavy.
Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money.
A thirst for the good life has left Dion and Shannon with debt hangovers. I've cut their spending by over 80%.
$25 a week for entertainment?
And I've challenged them to finish the renovations that will make their investment property saleable.
I think you guys should just tough it out, because there's no way that we're gonna give this place away.
For my next challenge, I've told Shannon and Dion to come up with a budget for the 3 trips they have planned for this year. Before I award them up to $5,000, I've got a little cool run-ins for them to do. Down there, at the bottom of the ice, those are the suitcases that you would be taking on your 3 major trips. You have to get them back here. If you decide that you're going on the Florida trip, you must bring all the Florida suitcases. You can't just bring one Florida suitcase. So you have a minute to plan and a minute to execute, because the planning is equally as important as the execution, okay? Move it, move it, move it!
Paris it is, right?
Yeah,
No
okay,
excluding.
we have
get
to go to
Mexico,
Paris because that's a family thing and we can't miss that. And then,
right? Mexico.
are we taking out Florida?
We're going to exclude Florida. Our strategy was just to get our most important gear and bring it down.
Oh my God, they're heavy.
Planning time's up! Move it!
Okay, we're leaving Mexico behind, baby.
We are?
I can't take those 3.
The bags were really heavy. I was surprised. I couldn't really manage more than 2. We can't handle all of the trips, so we have to choose and leave some behind. That's all we could do.
Making the actual choice is going to be much harder. If I have the time off and I want to go, it's going to be hard to say no.
Moving the bags is only a metaphor for this challenge. I've also told Shannon and Dion to figure out which trips they can afford to take and how to pay for them.
Did you slip on the ice a lot?
It was rather slippery.
And what was the reference of the slipperiness?
Life is a slippery road.
That's right, especially
Yes.
if you're carrying debt. You have to prioritize, right?
Exactly.
So when you came to figuring out the money involved, what did you find?
If we started this week saving $100 a week, that would get us what we would need. But I could not find how to save
Another $100.
a week.
So ultimately, you still have to come up with a way to make the extra money for the trip. And here's where you prove your mettle. You see a goal that you want to achieve, and you think to yourself, okay, what am I going to do to make that happen?
The trip to France, even if we have to go pinch into a credit card or something like that to go, we still might have to end up doing that.
How much money would you get if you rented the basement?
I think anywhere from $700 to $800.
That would be $200 a month right there. So is there anything you're in disagreement on at all? Remember when I busted your butt about the fact that you people were just cotching in this house?
Yes.
And you were fine with that. Shannon, you were fine with it too? Tell the truth.
I don't think this is the way we should be living. I feel like we should be, if I know that we're going to be here for at least another 6 months, I might as well unpack and have more than 2 spoons and 2 forks.
I'm surprised that he wanted to move in.
This week is your relationship rescue challenge, and you are going to make this house a home, which means you have got to unpack everything.
Everything.
Everything. This is no way to live.
Fair enough.
Coming up, Dion and Shannon's Home Sweet Home.
They're going in the garbage.
No, they're beautiful.
Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money.
Dion and Shannon were hoping to make a fast buck by flipping a fixer-upper, but their renovation fell behind, and now the market's falling apart.
I thought it was going to take me maybe 2 or 3 months to get this thing done from top to bottom.
Add in their impatient approach to travel, and it's no wonder they're mired in $60,000 worth of debt. They've learned the value of having a solid plan to finish the reno,
They've asked me to do this, and it should have been done already.
and in prioritizing their travel plans.
We can't handle all of the trips, so we have to choose.
But old habits die hard.
The trip to France, even if we have to go pinch into a credit card or something like that to go, we still might have to end up doing that.
For my final challenge, Dion and Shannon have to face the reality that they'll be living in this investment property for a while. So I want them to unpack and make the place home. Hopefully, this will keep the expensive travel bug in check.
Nothing got broken. I'm really excited.
They're going in the garbage.
No, they're beautiful. This is my beautiful tablecloth.
Look at that moo-moo. You cook with pots and pans again? It's like being reborn again, yeah?
I know. Oh, and this is my favorite. This I got in Italy at the top of Mount Vesuvius. And this is a lovely thing we got in Guatemala. This is the first picture that Shannon and I ever took together.
I've also asked each of them to do something special for their partner to make this place truly their own.
After Shannon and I got married, we got our pictures developed, but we never displayed them. I think that would make him feel more at home here. I'm gonna have to use frames that we already have because we're on a budget.
Well, this will be nice for Dion to finally get her clothes hung up in here and get the mess off the floor. And the blinds I got from my old apartment, she should like this. She can put on her best lingerie now, walk around the house.
You didn't think that this would be worthwhile, and then what?
It feels a lot better. It was a lot of work, but now it's like, okay.
Sometimes you just have to bite down and do the dirty so that you can get to the next place. That's what you have to do with your money so that you can actually have the life you want to have.
That's right. And we're on the way.
Except that Mr. Tall, Dark, and Handsome here thinks it's perfectly okay to put the trip to Paris on the credit cards. We can go into debt to go to Paris.
Get $200 or $300 on it or something.
Do not dig yourself into another hole, okay?
Promise.
Are you going to hold his feet to the fire when it comes to not putting these trips on the credit card?
We have to. I will not put it on a credit card. Otherwise, we're never gonna get ahead, and this whole process was a waste.
You have a lot of stuff.
We realized we have to have a garage sale.
There's your $300.
There we go.
When I got here, you were overspending by about $1,000 a month. and headed to $320,000 worth of debt, which would have totally negated the profit that you would have received on this house. We set aside $1,700 in your budget for debt repayment.
Right.
If you do that, you will have 5 of your 7 creditors paid off in 13 months. In 13 months, you're virtually debt-free. And then in 2 years, all you owe is the car, on which there is no interest.
That's beautiful, and that's what we want.
I remember like having like a panicked, sick feeling when I would do, you know, pay bills or think, oh my God, like where is the next mortgage payment gonna come from? And I haven't had this like sick feeling.
This month, we organized your money. We worked really hard to get you out of the red. And we showed you that this house can be a home if you put some effort into it and make it a home for each other. So I have some money for you.
Yeah.
This is already built into your debt repayment plan. $5,000.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You got it all.
It's been a good growth process. Like it's what we needed and what we wanted.
This is a gift certificate for a furniture/decor store. Maybe you want some frames so you can frame those wedding pictures.
Yes, that would be nice.
We just had to control our money. So the sacrifice was a few chocolate bars and a bag of cookies, you know, a
Which
week.
aren't good for you anyway.
Money, 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 money.